Hello and welcome to Pluribus Unum's Fireside Chats. Not as good as FDR's, but hey, it's something. Now, this episode is coming very special because if you remember, I did an oopsie. Hold on, let me see if I can do my, let's see if it's in the posts. This episode comes as a little bit of an oopsie, and the reason why is because I don't know, for whatever reason, that scheduling problem, this one, you'll notice that there's an oopsie, and I accidentally scheduled an extra episode, so you got an episode on the 26th, but you're going to get a special episode next week. It's a special episode because, like, I don't know if it was because of the way I was scheduling the videos up to that point, but, like, the video lined up on that day, and it's like, this day is somewhat significant, so it's like, I don't know, for whatever reason. What the heck? I accidentally put one of these over there. Oops. No. I think it's significant because it's supposed to be, like, the screw-up video on that day. But this episode and this picture gives you a hint. So you see, we've already done some of this. We did the South Korean one. We did this. We did the Alan Grayson episode. We did People's Joker. And all the things on this thing are a hint or a specific, like, name drop of an episode. One of these might be out of date. I don't know if one of these gets canceled. I'll let you know. But regardless, let's just get right into the news. First, why don't we talk a little bit more about Israel, everybody's favorite country, Israel. So, if you don't know, in Israel right now, the leader of the Hadash-Ta'al political party, Ayman Odeh, is currently facing an impeachment in the Knesset because he said such daring, tragic things, such as, I believe children deserve to live, such horrible, terrible things. And during these hearings, it's become very apparent why these hearings are really being held. So I'm just going to play a little bit of a segment here. I don't know. I think it's going to be early. I'll, skim through it if it's not coming up as fast. But, you'll see very clearly, this. And I just want to mention this because, I guess I shouldn't mention him, but I will. Ethan Klein has used Ayman Odeh as proof that Israel is not an apartheid state. Meanwhile, I'm going to show you exactly why Israel is an apartheid state using this clip explicitly.
למה דווקא עכשיו? למה בזמן מלחמה? אז אגיד את זה ברור, דווקא עכשיו גלעד. כשחיילים נלחמים בשבע חזיתות, צריך לנקות את החזית השמינית. איימן עודה הוא החזית השמינית. יו"ר הכנסת דרש שיוסרו כל הדיונים מעל שולחן הכנסת, חוץ מענייני המלחמה, וחוץ מההדחה שלי. חלק מהם... אתה אויב פשוט, אתה חלק מהאויב. אתה גייס חמישי. חברים. אחרת היו תולים אתכם. במיטת יורים היו עושים לכם. תקשיב לחבר. אם אני אחזור בי, הימין הפשיסטי הצליח בלסרטט את גבולות חופש הביטוי של האזרחים הערבים. די. בדיוק כמו שהוא רוצה אותנו, נתינים שהם לא חלק מעם ולא חלק מסוגיה וגם אין להם עמדות פוליטיות או ביקורתיות. זה לא יקרה. אני כופר בהליך הזה.
Literally, it's like Ethan Klein, how dare you even insinuate that Arabs in Israel proper, the Arab citizens are treated with respect and love and blah blah blah.
חברים, אתה גייס חמישי. חברים. אחרת היו תולים אתכם. במיטת יורים היו עושים לכם. תקשיב לחבר. אם אני...
Here's another clip. It's a shorter clip of Ayman Odeh during the one. I think this is just inspirational.
שני העמים.
Because again, Ayman Odeh isn't even that much of a radical in regards to the Israel-Palestine issue. He's radical in the sense that he is a member of the He's radical in the sense that he's a member of the Knesset who says that Palestinian children deserve to live. You know, that's the radical position he holds. That's the big thing. This is one thing. It's so Like, because I mean, I'll watch this. Let's just play it. Let's just play it.
אתם מנסים להשתיק אותי כי אני מדבר תמיד אל שני העמים. אפילו הציוץ שלי נכתב בעברית והתייחס לזכותם של שני העמים לחיות בחופש, בכבוד ובשוויון. את הקול הערכי הזה, קול שהוא קונסנזוס בעולם, ורק במדינת ישראל נחשב כדבר קיצוני.
אין לך בעיה עם פגיעה בחיילים.
אני לא הקיצוני.
אין לך בעיה עם פגיעה בחיילים.
אתם הקיצונים.
אתה אמרת
בין הים לירדן יש עם אחד. עם אחד.
איזה שני עמים? אתם הקיצונים. זה לא קיצוני להיאבק למען הזכויות של שני העמים. זה קיצוני מי שתומך במשטר של עליונות יהודית. כמה אתם מנסים להשתיק אותי?
Like, literally, Ayman Odeh is being treated like shit because he is saying that there are two people in the place, that in the Israel-Palestine area, and that they all deserve rights. And and people are calling him an extremist because he's even insinuating that Palestinians are people. Literally, it's like, they say right here, there are not two peoples between the river and sea, there is one people. This is just blatant, obvious genocidal rhetoric. Just blatantly. And the fact that Ethan Klein and all these other fucking Zionist weirdos have the audacity to even remotely act like this is like some sort of new thing. Like, they really act surprised. I wish these clips would be brought up to fucking Ethan Klein all the time, because it's just like, this is very important. But Ethan Klein doesn't care about that. All he cares about is like his own fucking bullshit, like fake copyright nonsense. And there's another reason why this impeachment. There are two separate reasons. Like, first, I guess I'll show this. Like, while they're all doing this like little blah blah haha, while they're trying to focus all our attention on this, literally right now, Israel has literally turned basically most of Gaza completely uninhabitable. As it says here, I'll zoom in here because I can't really see it on the computer screen because it's like slightly to the side for me. Areas within both Israel military zones and display. Literally all these places in purple, basically completely uninhabitable. All the red, basically incompatible. And literally for the past couple of days, every single aid site is literally being used as fucking targeting practice for the fucking simps and the fucking loser IDF. And in the broader Israeli political discussion, like, they're doing it not only to distract from that, but they're also doing it because of the fact that Ayman Odeh is very desperately trying to bring back the joint list. And this is a very big news. I swear I had this in the fucking, like... I swear I had this in the fucking, the fucking thing. I had this in the fucking thing. I had this saved in the bookmarks, but I have to go through all this again to find it, because it's important. I clicked the thing. Wiki, go to the thing. Thank you. Thank you, Hadash. Let's see. Not political parties. I guess we'll go with the elections. This is important because I gotta bring this up because this is important. Like, I mean, first, sadly, Ayman Odeh says that he's basically retiring in the next election. I don't know if that's holding, or I don't know, whatever, or if the impeachment decree is gonna like force him out. But like, let's go into it. Like, in the early hours of June 12th, the coalition Shas and United Torah Judaism backed away from the threats to bring down the government. Less than a day later, whatever, this is relevant. I don't give a shit about any of that. Fucking losers. I care about Ayman Odeh. Ayman Odeh, leader of the predominantly Arab Hadash-Ta'al alliance, took a different tack, submitting a no-confidence measure against... Yeah, he's flat-on submitted a no-confidence measure in Netanyahu, trying to bring the government down, and despite the giving political breathing room, Gaza... he said Gaza has won and Gaza will win, and there's people like, how dare you do this? They're calling him like a traitor, they're calling him like the fifth column, but like his point is not in the sense of like the literal war. I've talked about this before. His point is, at this point, it's over. Israel is a pariah state now. No one likes Israel anymore. This is a fact. Young people's support for Israel is in the fucking toilet. It'll take literally just a couple of years for like support for Israel to literally go away forever. And it's never coming back. as part of this effort, that's the thing. It's like Israel's got no one to blame but themselves. They could have fixed the situation and been happy hunky-dory, but that's not what happened. Israel decided to commit a genocide. Israel at war. Israel committing genocide, day 631. As part of this effort, Odeh is trying to reestablish the so-called joint list. Literally, it says around 2.1 million or 20.9% of Israelis, nearly 110 million ones, has blah blah. In the 2015 elections, the newly formed joint list won 13 seats out of the 120 in the Knesset, while boosting turnout in Arab majority locales to 64%. Zimrit rises with a 55% turnout 2 years earlier. So for those who don't remember, the joint list is a coalition between Hadash-Ta'al, Balad, and Ram, the 4 Arabic parties in Israel. The 4 Arabic to Palestinian parties in Israel. The main difference between all these parties is slightly different. I think the best way you can define the differences between the 4 parties in the coalition would broadly be how they choose to identify themselves. Let me see if gotta click the thing so I can get Hadash and Tal. Okay, so Tal is an Arab nationalist, Israeli Arab anti-Zionist secular party. Broadly big tent, but I guess it's kind of leans to the left. Hadash is, of course, a communist Marxist-Leninist Israeli Arab non-Zionist party. Not technically anti-Zionist, but many of the members of the party are anti-Zionist, like Ofer Kasif. Balad is an explicitly Palestinian nationalist, Arab nationalist, anti-Zionist, left-wing nationalist, social democratic, secularist, and pan-Arab party. And the United Arab List is a conservative Islamist party. So basically, in my perspective, the way that you would divide these 4 parties, in the sense of I would say if you went up to a guy from Hadash and said, "What are you?" How he would identify himself. I think this guy would identify himself as an Israeli. I am an Israeli. That's how a person from Hadash would identify themselves. They might say they're Arab Israeli, but I think broadly they would say if define yourself in one word, they'd say Israeli. For Tal, I think the best way you say is if you would walk up to them and said, "How do you identify yourself?" They would probably say, "I am an Arab." That's how they say. Balad, they'd probably just flat out say Palestinian, probably just because. But United Arab List, Ram, they would probably say they are, Muslim. But that's irrelevant. That's basically to explain the broader ideological differences between the ones, which is why they're kind of separately. And notice how Ram gets to be added to the opposition bloc because there's more alignment with these guys, with the right-wing parties, than there are with these guys. But let's do hypotheticals. Let's do some hypotheticals, all right? This is the polling that has been done for the parties ever since, 2025. And if, hypothetically, this coalition were to pan out, you'd have 5, 5, 2, 12 tied with the Zionist left. 6, 4, 2, 12, 1 point above the Zionist left. 6, 4, 2.7, 12.7 over the Zionist left. Let me see if they have seat projections. Maybe this could also be useful. Channel 14, isn't that the fucking crazy one? Where's the seat? Is there seat intentions? Is there seat projections? No, there's broadly. Oh wait, no. Is this? No. Yeah. Regardless, you could probably do the math yourself, but that's my point. If this were to work, they could actually be a viable voting bloc. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen for many reasons. I'd say broadly the problem probably is Ram in this sense. Because again, Ram betrayed them to join the coalition. That's one of the big things. I remember back when Yemen is not in this group now, is it? Yemen is not here because I guess they formed into Bennett 2026. But the problem is Naftali Bennett, Ram, and Hadash-Ta'al were the parties. They were the parties that were having trouble with this whole big, massive opposition coalition, because one was an extremely Zionist, they hate the Arabs, and Ram was the right-wing Muslim party, and Hadash-Ta'al was the secular party. But again, that's one of the main reasons why they're doing it, to try and break down and destroy any chance of a broad joint list again, because they are a viable political bloc. Because again, they did it before, the joint list. Let me see. How far back do we have to go for the joint? Yeah, right here. Emet, which is the coalition between the Labor Zionist parties, got 7 seats. Jointless got 15. They were the largest left-wing bloc in the Knesset. They are a powerful bloc if they are able to coalesce together. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen due to the fact that, much like with Palestine in and of itself, the Israeli government, kind of likes to meddle between the affairs with the rest of these parties. And there's a chance that one or more of these parties could get banned. I mean, remember, this whole story started because the leader of Hadash-Ta'al is possibly going to get kicked out of the Knesset. So, it's not exactly impossible for them to get banned. Balad briefly got banned in the most recent election. I don't think Ram gets much shit because, again, they're the most aligned with the rest of the Israeli political establishment, but broad point. But another reason why they're trying to distract from it is because Benjamin Netanyahu this Monday, I guess the episode this comes out, is going to be facing a corruption trial in and of itself. After the judge says the defense didn't present clear justification for postponing hearings, files a request for a copy of schedule as evidence. Nope, I'm not giving you support. No ads for you. The Jerusalem, that's my own BDS. I don't know if Times of Israel is even for Israel. I don't know. But the point is, Jerusalem district on Friday, basically, this even got more troubling because apparently Donald Trump himself tried to get involved in this and tried to be you need to stop hurting my friend Netanyahu. And I'm oh, this is perfectly justification for us to continue the trial. It's thanks. But anyways, let's move on to the next story because, I kind of moved past it. It's free Ayman Odeh. He's good. He's based. Let's move on and talk about the Iran situation. First, let's play the funny video that's been going around online.
Yeah, I do. They violated it, but Israel violated it too. Israel, as soon as we made the deal, they came out and they dropped a load of bombs, the likes of which I'd never seen before. The biggest load that we've seen. I'm not happy with Israel. When I say, okay, now you have 12 hours, you don't go out in the first hour and just drop everything you have on them. So I'm not happy with them. I'm not happy with Iran either. But I'm really unhappy if Israel's going out this morning because of one rocket that didn't land, that was shot, perhaps by mistake, that didn't land. I'm not happy about that. You know what? We basically have 2 countries that have been fighting so long and so hard that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
Well, there are many things about this statement that are weird. For starters, that's not. Again, there's also if you want an accurate statement, it's we basically have 2 countries we've meddled in the affairs with that we don't know what the fuck we're doing. That's the real answer. But that's the big problem with this. It's I barely know what the fuck is going on with this fucking Israel-Iran thing anymore. I barely know what the fuck is happening. It's just nonsense. It's just insane nonsense at this point. There's really, I guess I'll play one funny video that I have because this is a funny thing for me. Media. And if Donald Trump wins in this election, the United States will go to war with Iran, Lebanon, Palestine, Venezuela, and Mexico. We will go to war with one of those nations. But again, I genuinely barely know what the fuck is going on now because after that fucking drop, it's just I don't know what's happening now because that's the problem with Trump and his fucking Trump is, I have no clue what he's fucking doing because it's literally it's one day he'll talk about how Israel's being weird and I don't like them, and then magically the next day he's Israel's amazing, and it's what is going on? I don't know what the fuck's going on, but the fact of the matter is this situation is go bad because it's Israel's claiming victory, Trump's claiming victory, and now apparently fucking Iran is claiming victory. Iran's government voted to suspend cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency, which is stymie efforts to stop their nuclear enlargement. Iran's supreme leader, the Ayatollah, broke his week-long silence on Thursday, claiming in a televised speech that his country had secured a victory over Israel and delivered a slap in the face to Washington. Hours earlier, Iran's government also approved legislation to suspend cooperation with the the Islamic Republic emerged victorious and in return delivered a harsh slap to America's face. The United States has entered a direct war because it felt like Israel would be completely destroyed if it didn't. He said, adding that it gained nothing from this war. Israel had to understand that attacking Iran would come at a heavy cost, and thanks to God, that's exactly what happened. Like, literally, that is the thing. Iran is just flat out admitting, like, they're just flat out saying that, yes, they're just admitting that this is going to help them, because, like, in multiple senses of the word, it will. I mean, there's a rather popular video by North Star Radio that just got released where he's just openly saying that people should support Iran. And it's just like, dude, I mean, do you really think that's not going to happen in this situation? We've seen for 631 days a live stream genocide by Israel. You really think a bunch of young people are just going to rally and go to support Israel now? They are, again, they are pariah states. And America can't really get involved in this war. I mean, they technically have gotten involved. And that's the whole point. Like, the whole point, it's not, like Trump says, like, oh, I was doing it to protect America. No, you weren't. You're doing it because this is an act of war. That's what you're doing. You're doing it because you attacked Iran, and now you're involved in war with Iran. That's what's happening. That is what it is. This isn't a preventative measure to prevent a war. You're doing this to incite a war. That's literally what's happening. That is objectively what is happening. And no one's going to support this war. I mean, literally, in Washington, there's I forgot to fucking find the thing. But there's like a vote like right now. But like, yeah, I mean, since the Washington is basically like filled with losers, of course we voted on a measure to possibly not go into war with Iran, and we voted for it, with Fetterman with his stroke-filled brain deciding to support a war with Iran, where Rand Paul flipped to go against it. And it's just like, yeah, again, I don't know what the fuck is going on with this situation. All I know is if a war happens, I ain't going. That's a fact. I've made up my mind. I am not going to war with Iran. I'm not going to war for a country. I'm not going to go fight a war. I'm not going to go to a country that I don't know, to slaughter people I don't know, for a country that I fucking despise. Like, fuck Israel. I'm not going to fight for Israel. Like, I don't even like this fucking loser. I didn't vote for this fucking loser. I'm not voting. I explicitly voted against Trump because I didn't want a war with Iran. That is literally the sole reason why. I said this to everybody I knew. Like, my sole reason for doing this is to prevent a war with Iran. And then somehow everybody else was brainwashed into thinking that he was the anti-war candidate. That's just ludicrous. But anyways, I guess let's do a palate cleanser. Let's talk about some good news. Zohran Mamdani has apparently won the New York City mayoral race. Now, technically, he hasn't, but he has. Let's go some explaining. Let's see. Okay, so here's apparently the borough results and the state senate results. But like basically the explanation, the results are as follows. Here's how the results went. Like, Zohran Mamdani, of course, is leading with a plurality, and Andrew Cuomo is up here. Now, one thing that's a little bit disappointing, was Selma Bartholomew getting less than the write-in votes, which apparently one of these write-in votes includes a write-in votes for Eric Adams, because Eric Adams apparently voted for himself in the New York Democratic primary. But like, basically, what is, like, I mean, I was like a little confused about like how, I mean, I kind of expected Mamdani to win because I literally just didn't see a political outcome for Cuomo. If it wasn't a first round win off the get-go, then there was no route for him. Like, I mean, just looking at this primary now, it's really depressing for Cuomo for a lot of reasons. Now, first, one of the big ones is the fact that Ramos, like this is the big problem with like Cuomo. Cuomo did not make any effort to align with any of these candidates. And it's partially because all these candidates hated him. So there was no point for him to align with any of them, because they all didn't like him. But the point is, since Zohran Mamdani actually made a point to align with the rest of the candidates on this field, through various measures. Like, there's the Working Families Party endorsements where they put Mamdani on the list alongside other candidates in the race. Then there are some other like New York Democratic like progressive organizations that did that as well. But then Mamdani also made like explicit alliances with other candidates. Like Mamdani explicitly went to Brad Lander and Michael Blake and they cross-endorsed each other. Meanwhile, Cuomo made the stupid effort to literally be like, Ramos, endorse me for a cabinet position and I'm not going to endorse you. So literally, for the most part, I would say that most of the people who voted for Ramos, who were going to vote for Cuomo, already voted for Cuomo. Cuomo, even, like, it's even a funny thing. Like, Cuomo literally explicitly, on the day of the election, literally said that he voted for himself and no one else. So he literally just threw away his ballot. His ballot has no measure outside of the first round. Like, it has no power outside of the first round. You have to actually rank all 5 candidates for your ballots to have any power. Like, that's basically it. If you don't do that, then it's not going to work. And, yeah, it seems things aren't going well. And it seems like Michael Blake and Brad Lander even, like, they're getting a lot of effort for this. Like, they're getting a lot of thanks. And it seems like they're getting, people are pressuring for Brad Lander to run against Dan Goldman and Michael Blake to run against Richard Torres. And basically, if you do that, we'll support you. So it's like, it was immediately like, they did a lot of good. They did a lot of good. And, it's insane. Like, it's just insane. Like, it's just, but like, anyway, like, let's just get into like some things. Like, of course, it was like a big upset, and a lot of people are like surprised for some reason. Even though, again, it doesn't really make that much. It really makes more sense that Mamdani did win. Like, because again, like, if it wasn't a first round vote, it wouldn't have mattered. I don't think it would have. I honestly didn't see a path for Cuomo in the election if it wasn't a first round ballot. But one of the first things that came into a bit of a contention was the fact that Andrew Cuomo is still technically running in the election. Now, technically, he has... Now, technically, Andrew Cuomo will not actively campaign for the seat. He will not actively campaign for the seat, but he will remain on the ballot. Will this play much effort? I have no clue. I have absolutely no clue. Like he was... Apparently, like, some people are saying that he might still be interested in running in the general election, but, like, it seems like what is the most likely scenario is going to happen is that he's just going to have his name on the ballot, and he's just going to hope maybe that people are just too stupid to notice that he's not actively campaigning. And, some people are a little bit concerned about what to do now. Like, general election is going to be first past the post, so literally, there is no way that this could ever really be good. And for some reason, these guys are, like, unironically, like, this is the unironic truth. A lot of people are actually very genuinely running to Eric Adams to save them. Like, literally, a lot of these people are actually unironically running to Eric Adams to save them. Like, literally. Like, it's just insane. Like, he's literally facing corruption charges right now. Like, right now, he is facing corruption charges. But he's like, literally, he is, like, they're literally running to him to save him. And it didn't work the last time getting a fucking corrupt loser to be your candidate. So what makes you think it's gonna work this time? It's just pretty fucking weird. Another thing that's very interesting is just the openly, blatantly, like, anti-Arab, anti-Islamic stuff that's been going on about Mamdani. Just flat out, just openly anti-Arab, anti-Muslim. And one of the big ones, I could show a ton of them, but, like, everybody's already talked about them. The other one I want to mention is this fucking loser cunt named Andy Ogles, who is the fucking bitch loser who literally made a bill to make it so that Donald Trump could run for a third term, but no one else can. Because all he wants to do is suck Trump's cock or whatever. And he's literally just openly saying, like, Pam Bondi should deport Zohran Mamdani. And it's just like, go fuck yourself, fucking loser, fucking dipshit cunt, whatever. And apparently this guy's interested in running for governor of his state. And it's like, fucking loser, I don't give a shit about you. No one cares. Anyways, let's move on to the next story of something that is important. Clarence Thomas urges re-examination of 150-year-old civil rights statute. Let's just read into it. So Supreme Court voted along partisan lines on Thursday on Medina versus Planned Parenthood, South Atlantic. That rules that states can block Medicaid funding to Planned Parenthood. That's not a good sign. What to know? Neil Gorsuch delivered the opinion. Liberal justices dissented, blah, blah, blah. But it was Justice Thomas's parting words and his dissent that drew attention. The court properly applies our precedents to resolve questions presented, Thomas writes. As it makes clear, even under current doctrine, courts should not be too readily recognize a statutory right as enforceable under 19... But given the remarkable gap between the original statute of this one and its current rule, a more fundamental reexamination is in order. Section 1983 of, I don't know why I misread that, of the Civil Rights Act of 1871, known formally as U.S. Code 1983, is a federal law that allows for suing of the state and local government officials for violating constitutional rights. It is also used widely in federal civil rights legislation. Thomas's interpretation and feelings towards the 150 law has been conveyed numerous times in past court opinions. In 2020, Thomas dissented on cases the court declined to hear challenges on the doctrine of qualified immunity, writing, I previously expressed my intent on qualified immunity jurisprudence based on our Section 1993 qualified immunity doctrine appears to stray in statutory text. I would grant this position. He also argued that while Section makes no mention of defensive immunities, its text provides individuals the right to sue applied categories of the deprivation and constitutional rights under color or state of law. In 2023, basically, it seems like he's just doing what he does best and just basically like making sure that his life would be even worse. So yeah, not much else I can say about that. I just wanted to mention that because it's funny. Next news story, last news story even, one about copyright. So, the copyright laws are going to start changing, apparently, and they're apparently going to not change necessarily for the best. So, federal judge rules copyrighted books are fair use for AI training, but the judge ruled AI companies shouldn't be pirating books. A federal judge decided with Anthropic in a major copyright ruling, declaring that artificial intelligence developers can train models under published books without author's consent. The decision, filed Monday in the U.S. District Court of the Northern District of California, sets a precedent that training AI systems on a copyrighted work constitutes fair use, though it doesn't guarantee the other courts will follow. Judge William Alsup's ruling makes the case for first of dozens of ongoing copyright issues to give an answer about fair use in the context of generative AI. It's a question that has been raised by creators across one another. Generative AI tools exploded in the use mainstream, allowing users to easily produce art for models. So basically, he's just basically allowing for copyright infringement for thee, not for me. That's basically what's happening. Let me see. I'm gonna take a wild guess. Oh no, he's a Democrat. He's a fucking loser. How can this fucking loser be a Democrat? What the fuck? What? Oh, fucking a loser. How the fuck is this loser a Democrat? Judge Alsup dismissed a target on ExxonMobil on the basis that two California cities that it could not prove the energy company was responsible for climate change in the state? Appointed by Bill Clinton. That's interesting. No, wow, that was a little confusing for a second because I'm like, wait, that's not Bill Clinton. He was a law clerk for William O. Douglas? Man, how the mighty have fallen. How could you be a fucking like Douglas, dude? But as again, it is like, it's just doing copyright infringement for thee, not for me. But it's just like, whatever. I guess there's just more like copyright will, because remember Trump did like kick out the fucking like copyright guy who said like, hey, maybe like copyrighted works are like, you can't necessarily sue copyrighted works for like making AI, but they're like, whatever, it doesn't matter because like the AI people bought Donald Trump, so of course they're gonna change the laws. Anyways, with that out of the way, let's move on to the main topic of this video. We're gonna be taking the DozenValues Quiz again because Spoilers for the Thursday video. The Thursday video is going to have something to do with my ideology. So I figured that I would be taking a political test to show my ideology. So I'm not wondering why the Dozen Values over all the other ones. Because honestly, I think the Dozen Values ones is probably the best one. Because not only does it put you on the spectrums of this, equality v property, coordination commerce, dominion anarchy, permission restriction, inclusivity supremacy, heritage and novelty, but it also gives you a wide variety of people to choose from. Now, apparently, hold on. Yeah, there's like, because I remember I took a quiz not that long ago where basically like Quark was a fucking, like they basically like did not like Quark, but I think the test is pretty good for the most part. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, it gives you like a ton of different ideologies that will list. And I will be at least showing some of them. I'll at least be showing some of them. I'll be showing like the bottom ones and the top ones. I don't know why these ones are the ones default. I think that's just because like the default of the quiz. And it's like the more fringe ideologies are like the farthest away. Meanwhile, the ones at the back will probably be a bit more whatever. Cardenismo. Look at this. Cardenismo. Regardless, let's just move on to it. Again, I don't know what I'll expect, because, I took this test, like, a couple months ago just for fun, but, I will probably be taking, like, other political compass tests, like, around the same time that like, video comes out, just to give, like, maybe, like, a special, like, post to show other political spectrum, whatevers, but regardless, let's just begin the test. You'll be presented with 132 statements and a spectrum ranging from agree to disagree. Click the button that fits your opinion. Got it shuffled. I always click shuffle because I just wanted to like go with a completely random one, whatever. The Industrial Revolution was a required step in human history. Like, that's just a fact. I'm just sorry. That's just an objective fact. The Industrial Revolution needed to happen in order for us to get to the position where we are today. Now, granted, some of that isn't the best, but in regards to technological progress, that is something that had to happen. Nobody should get fired for disrespecting a coworker's identity. I guess that depends. Like, if it was like an honest accident, like if you have a trans coworker and then like you accidentally misgender them, then that's one thing. But like if it's intentional, then like that's a little bit of a different story. So I'm gonna put neutral just because again, if it's an accident, it's an accident. If it's not, then whatever. But also there's another thing where it's like if it's an accident and it keeps happening, it's probably not an accident. The wealth disparity between different cultural groups is due to some groups working harder. Absolutely disagree. That is not remotely fucking true. It's because of racism. All government intervention in the economy should be opposed. Strongly disagree. Should in fact be improved upon more. I want more. Leadership should be passed on hereditarily. No. Parents should not send their children to religious schools. Yes. I don't think that's no religious schools. Workers in essential parts of the economy should not be allowed to strike. No, far from it. They should be the hardest to strike. The worst criminals should be publicly executed. No. Death penalty is bad and cringe and gay. But gay derogatory, not gay positive. Because remember, being gay is not derogatory, but you can make it derogatory if you're gay. I don't know I have no clue what the fuck I said. We shouldn't let people do things which put them in danger. Broadly agree, I guess. That's a little bit of a thing, because like, what does that mean? A lot of things put you in danger. Like I've been sitting here for a little bit, so that technically puts me in danger. So should we ban that? Should we ban sitting? Workers deserve a greater part about what they create. Yes. In times of crisis, safety takes precedent over liberty. Broadly no. I guess technically to an extent yes, but like I would say broadly no. Nature has no inherent value. I'd say slightly disagree because it does have a lot. Like, nature has value. We eat, we drink water. That's valuable. The revenue of religious institutions should not face taxation. Yes, let's tax them all. Let me just recheck. I do this all the time because I always started like, am I sure? Are we sure that I clicked the right answer? Revenue of religious institutions should not face taxation. Should not face taxation. Should face taxation. Yes. An individual's gender is determined by their chromosomes. No, that's not how gender works. That's not how gender works. I can Google. Let's Google it. Let's Google it right now. Gender. Definition. That's not gender. That's not gender. That's sex. The range of social, physiological, and cultural behavioral aspects between a man or a woman or third gender. Like, yeah, it's like the range of social, physiological, cultural, and behavioral aspects of these two things. Typically, these can be, like, I mean, again, like if you present like a traditionally masculine, then you're gonna, yeah, disagree. The economy should be open to each and every one of us, to each and everyone. I'm gonna put neutral because, like, what does that mean? I don't know. I'm gonna put neutral because, again, like, what does that mean? Like, does that mean like free market capitalism or whatever, or does that, like, what does that mean? The benefits of automation outweigh the costs. Slightly disagree because, with the rise of AI as it exists now as an institution, we're starting to see a lot of problems with that. Then, originally I would have been like a bit the middle ground, but, whatever. Political correctness has gone too far. Let me think. I'm trying to think. Actually, at this point, I'm just going to say no. I'm just going to say flat out disagree. Hasn't gone far enough. We're at the point where, like, again, a Muslim guy who's running for mayor of New York City is getting, like, shit everywhere. So it's like, yeah, it hasn't gone far enough. These people are too comfortable. Declaring your territory to be independent from a government is legitimate. Not necessarily, but I'm not necessarily going to oppose that either. Neutral disagree. We should not engage in defensive warfare. Strongly agree. Government surveillance is an unnecessary evil. Broadly agree, yeah. Deportation should be used to ensure ethnic hegemony. Absolutely not. Physical violence should be used against people who oppose my views. Broadly disagree because, if they're attacking us, then, fight back. But, like, broadly, just randomly, no. If people want to live unhealthy lifestyles, it's their right to do so. Yeah, technically, yeah, that is their right. That's their right. I'd probably go, like, one step further. If I were to, like, penalize the, do, like, any of the sin stuff, it would probably just be, like, a slight penalization of, like, things that harm others, like smoking, alcoholism, stuff like that. But, like, people want to live unhealthy lifestyles. I guess that's their right. Life without the state will be nasty, brutish, and short. Strongly agree. The nation comes before all else. Strongly disagree. Many industries are too important to be left to the market. Strongly agree. Certain ethnic are genetically predisposed to violence. No, that's racist. People should not be treated differently because of their origin. In an ideal society, money would not exist. I guess broadly, yeah. I only put broadly because I can't imagine a world without money. I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I can't. Because it's just like, I like money. I like money. Money's cool. I can use money to buy things. Because, like, that's our capitalist bonobo brain. The economy should be organized by professional groups performing their function. Neutral, I guess. People should be allowed to do whatever they want in their own yard. Broadly, yeah. Competition drives innovation. No, it hasn't thus far. Discrimination against obese people is unacceptable. Yes, but, like, there's a little bit of a asterisk with that because just, like, what does that mean? Discrimination against obese people? Because, again, like, literally just flat discrimination against obese people is one thing, but, like, I guess I'll put, like, slightly agree. Subsidy, but I will say one thing, like, the reason why I do kind of want to go, like, a little bit down is because, like, yeah, it's better for you to exercise. I'm being serious. Like, I've been exercising for, like, a year now, and I've been, like, not a year, but, like, at least a year or two at the very least. But, like, yeah, it's fine. I like it. It's fun. And it's, lost weight. And I'm cool now. I'm based. But, yeah, broadly, we shouldn't discriminate against obese people. We should, like, provide them with the resources where they can exercise helpfully. Subsidies should be given to agrarian producers and those who wish to become ones. Kinda. All marginalized minorities should act in solidarity with each other. Yeah, broadly. I think, like, we should. Like, all marginalized minorities should be teamed up together to help each other in each individual causes. Because the plight of my brother is also the plight of me. There's a Spanish American Chicano song that literally says something similar to that. Prostitution should be allowed. I mean, yeah, I guess. Everyone should be provided with a job. Yeah, probably. Using artificial intelligence to better advance production is worth investing. I would have I heard Operation Cybersend. I would have originally said like something like agree or maybe even strongly agree, but like I have to put neutral because I've seen how AI is used nowadays and I can't trust it anymore. A party revolution should lead the workers against capitalism. Neutral, unsure, because like I mean, like, do they have to exclusively be revolutionaries? I don't know. And define what is a revolutionary in that sense. It is better for different people to stay in their own communities. Disagree. Tyranny by majority is a legitimate concern. I'm going to probably say no, but I'm just going to double check, like, tyranny by majority. I'm just going to say broadly, this is a fucking stupid thing. Pornography should be banned. No. Women are naturally more nurturing than men. No. The prices of goods should be set by the market. No. Independent women should not have the required time. Neutral because, like, I can understand, I mean, in my ideal world, there would be, like, the internet would be seen as a, like, it would be seen as not, like, a commodity anymore. It would be seen as, like, an actual, because it's viable. It's, like, a thing now. Foreign investments are to be welcomed. I'm going to say slightly disagree. Hierarchy should be dismantled. Strongly agree. Executive committees are an efficient way of handling larger economic entities. Just doing quick double checks because I always like doing double checks. Neutral, unsure. Landlords provide an essential service? No. We should return to a simpler, less materialistic way of life. Slightly agree, yeah. Welfare for disabled people should be cut? No, it should be raised. Any sexual activity is fine as long as everyone involves a consenting adult? Yeah. Nations thrive when presided over by strong, capable governments. There are some nations that are considered strong, capable governments that, you know, I'm going to just put neutral, unsure. Income tax should be abolished? No. Gay marriage should be legal? Yes. Abandoned property should be free to use by any individual? Yeah. A singular will government is desirable? No. Proportional representation of minorities should be mandatory in workplaces? Kinda, yeah. There should be laws against wearing religious clothing in public? No. Men make better leaders than women? No. People should not have to pay for healthcare? Yes. There should be certain rules and standards that apply to all across society? You know, yeah. Self-employment is a net positive for everyone involved? Kinda. Religious authority should never grant political power? Yes. Inheritance should be abolished? Maybe broadly, but neutral, unsure. I don't know. An individual can never truly be separate from society. If someone is the first to claim an area of land, they are entitled to profit from it. Not really, no. Workers should seize the means of production, strongly agree. People should be able to live their lives without ever having to deal with money. Yeah. Firearms should be available to the general public. At least partially agree, yeah. International borders should not exist. I don't really care. Society should embrace multiculturalism. Yes. Individuals should be allowed to do whatever they want with their own body. I mean, yeah, broadly. Bosses know what's best for their workers? No. Gathering of personal data by companies is legitimate? No. Sometimes vigilante justice is necessary. Neutral, unsure. All drugs should be decriminalized? Yes. Workers' associations for everyone association. I'm going to take a wild guess. This means unions. So I'm just going to do a couple double check. Yeah, just trade unions. So, no. Life in big cities is unfulfilling. No, like life anywhere can be unfulfilling, and life anywhere else can also be fulfilling. Eugenics should be used to genetically remove disabled individuals? No. Hate speech against minorities should be a crime. Maybe a civil crime, yeah. Theft can never be justified, no. Expertise, not popular approval, represents the worth of a ruler. I mean, no, there are people who are experts that can be kind of cringe. We should not attempt to mess with nature. Broadly, yeah, but like, I guess there's some instances where I can see it be somewhat useful, but like otherwise, broadly, no. Biological parenting is no better than adopted and communal parenting, yeah. There's some biological parents that are fucking shit, so yeah. The populace cannot govern themselves. I guess since I'm in the middle of these three, so I'll just put in the middle. No one but me can adequately represent my political views. To an extent, yes, but I can feel myself represented by other people to an extent, but like, I guess I'll put slightly agree. Feudalism was not such a bad system, strongly disagree. All workers worldwide should be free from capitalism, strongly agree. We should be skeptical of new technologies. Slightly, because like we probably should have been a bit more skeptical of AI, and now it's a little bit of a problem. Taxes should exist on harmful products to discourage consumption. Hot take? No. A cigarette tax and a alcohol tax would purely just be a tax on poor people. That's a fact. If it is tradition to perform such surgeries on children, it should be done. No. Altering our language to make it more gender inclusive is not a bad idea. Yeah. It's often necessary to break taboos. Yeah, broadly. Traditional gender roles are optimal. No. Authorities should not be questioned as long as they provide stability. No. Workers should be allowed to block access to workplace during general strikes. Yeah. We should move beyond wage systems. Yeah. Local councils should have more power to implement economic policies. Yeah, I guess, kinda. We should combat mindless consumerism. Yeah. Intellectual property is legitimate. There are moral rules which should never be broken. I mean, I guess broadly, yeah. It's important to respect religion. I'll put slightly disagree, cause, I mean, with open borders comes major economic benefits. I guess broadly, yeah. I guess that would happen. Some ideas are too dangerous to be given a platform, kind of. The right to start a business is fundamental to any thriving economy. Neutral. In the future, we should improve our own biology with technology. That's a little bit trippy. I'm not sure about that. A large welfare state breeds unhealthy culture of reliance. No. My culture is worth protecting. I'm gonna put neutral on chart because, like, what does that mean? My definition of what my culture is completely different from what other people is. Like, I mean, I just voted no on the question of intellectual property. I believe that free culture is what I believe is culture. Some sexual orientations would be socially favored. No. Property shouldn't be held by a few select individuals. Yes. Politicians should not exist. Neutral, they're kind of a necessary evil. To an extent. It's wasteful to have so many different brands of the same good. Broadly, yeah. Wealth accumulation leads to the creation of an oppressive class system. Yeah. Eradicating disease isn't a valid reason to enforce vaccination. No, that's a very valid reason. Nothing is sacred and we should embrace this. Yeah. Trespassing should be met with harsh consequences. No. Nomadic cultures have a wiser relationship with the land than we do. Neutral and sure. That's really dependent. Workplaces should not be required to close on Sundays or favored or during religious festivals. Yeah, they shouldn't be required to do it, but like if they want to, that's their right, I guess. Society must. I guess I'll put slightly because, like, again, they shouldn't, but like if they do, I don't really care. Society must unite behind a central authority in order to be cohesive. No, not necessarily. We should increase tariffs on import in order to help local producers. Slightly agree, yeah. Freedom of speech is vital for a healthy society. Strongly agree. Gender should be abolished. Strongly agree. Euthanasia should be legal. Now, I actually would have said originally at some point agree or slightly agree, but now I'm at the point where I'm at neutral now because Jeremy Corbyn, during like the debacle over that, I don't know if I said, I might have said this the last time I took this quiz. I don't know if I told the last time I took this quiz before the Jeremy Corbyn thing or like after, but like he actually gave like an actual good explanation of like the like how in the current system of society, unfortunately, we would just live in a world. I can't really, I don't know. Like mental foreign self-governing communities, neutral and sure. It would be a shame to see minority languages go extinct. Yeah. Workers should have more of a say in production. Yeah. People are whatever gender they say they are. Yes. Local governments should be more powerful than national governments. Neutral and sure. Regulations can often harm the people they aim to protect. Strongly disagree. It's not healthy for children to be raised by gay couples. Strongly disagree. We should replace the central bank with alternative credit forms such as free banking. I'm going to say strongly disagree on that. Close my eyes, see what the top ideologies are. And I'll write here. Yes! I got 21st century socialism. Hooray! I got it. Hooray! It's always in the top ones. I don't know if Quark saw my fucking video and then heard me like ecstatic about 21st century socialism and then this happened or what. But like, yes, apparently I am a 21st century socialist. Next mentions are libertarian Marxism, libertarian socialism, council communism, neo-Marxism. Based. I'm just going to do this because I don't know how this is going to work. So yeah, Lister. Here are all the ideologies that I have. Like, my top 10 ideologies are as follows. 21st century socialism, libertarian Marxism, libertarian socialism, council communism, neo-Marxism, Marxism, left communism, democratic and federalism, eco-socialism, and democratic socialism. Let's just scroll down the list real quick. Guevarism, cooperativism, De Leonism, Gorbachovism, green politics, syndicalism, the growth movement. Neo-Zapatismo, pretty high. Social democracy is still pretty high. Nordic model is pretty high. We got Leninism, religious socialism. That's a bit of an interesting one to be high. Left-wing populism. Okay, that makes sense. Democratic transhumanism. Gross. Peronism. How did it get this high? Cardenismo. That's pretty good. Boomless progressivism, I guess. Chavismo makes sense, I guess. But let's just get to the bottom ones. Okay, now let's get into the middle ones. Mutualism, longism, neoliberalism, Sorelianism, right-wing populism. How does this get so high? Green libertarianism. Okay, let's go to all the way to the bottom. On the bottom, we have Landian accelerationism, Hoppinism, Corwinism, national capitalism, monarchical capitalism, proprietarianism, confederism, dark enlightenment, democracy. So basically, completely fake and gay derogatory ideologies. I'm so used to saying fake and gay because of Rainbow and Johnson, but like, fake ideologies, but basically fake ideologies. The only real ones on here are like fucking paleo libertarianism and fucking national capitalism, I guess. But yeah, I'm a 21st century socialist, baby. Let's go. I knew my obsession with the pink tide would finally pay off. So maybe we don't need Thursday's video where I go over my ideology. Whoops, I accidentally spoiled it. Oh well. But anyways, maybe by the time this episode comes up, I'll put like a fucking thing where it like premieres. I don't know. But regardless, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and click the bell to notify when the future video of mine comes out. And if you want more content from me, consider supporting me on Patreon.